Hey everybody, it is November 10th, 2025. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update and talk about some things I have going on. I think everything's moving in the right direction. I mean, well, we'll get into it. We'll show you. Start out with the chart. Really not a whole lot going on. The last transaction was October 31st, Halloween, slight sell. Still 390,000 approximately in circulation. Let's move on to the ad mob. Not a whole lot going on here. Last month we only did $43. This month $12.36 so far. The games, like I explained in the past, to me the games aren't really a big thing. It's just so hard with the new regulations that Google has that you gotta keep updating stuff, and I'm not like super tech savvy, so it's really tough for me. I mean, maybe in the future, once we get a little more cash flow going, we can talk about buying more games or other things, but as of now, we'll just leave this alone. It's doing what it's doing. I think actually the music royalties are paying out more than AdMob, and I forgot to pull up CD Baby this time around, but we just had a payout of like $67. And I think we had 2 payouts last month. I will get a more in-depth update. I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop with some of the things going on. But yeah, I think we got about $120 last month from CD Baby, and I don't think we're even going to get a payout this time from AdMob because they have a $100 minimum. Robinhood, okay, so we are at $5,027. We had to use some funds from this to pay invoices last week, but as you'll see once we get to the HMC paperwork, it's all going to go back to $11,000–$12,000 in the next week here. As soon as I get a payout from them, I'll make sure to do that. The Fair Store, this is last month and this month. 30,752. Fair Store has been doing well. I mean, with me being only one person, it's hard to stay on top of it, and I actually switched a few things around to kind of make it easier on myself. So what I've been doing is the whole week, so Monday through so Monday, Tuesday, I set the minimum order to $1,000. So like maybe we'll get 1 or 2 orders then. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I open it up to $100 minimums. So usually I get like 30–40 orders that day. And then I bump it back up to 1,000 Friday through Tuesday again. This just helps cut it down because I had 1 week, guys, where I had 200 orders. I mean, it was, for one person, it was tough. And then, obviously we get some bad reviews because it's like, well, fulfillment takes too long and all this stuff. Well, sorry, but I'm one guy and I'm bogged down, like 200 some orders. But I figured, if I have the $1,000 minimum, at least those orders I can ship out on pallets, and it's a lot easier for me instead of packing boxes. Because like on a pallet order, I can usually build a pallet and ship it out in 15 minutes. With boxes, it's like every order is at least 15 minutes, and if you got to do 200 orders in a week, I mean that's a lot of time. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I do have 3 pallets shipping out today, actually. I have 1 $900 order shipping out, and then I have a $3,400 order shipping out, and then I have a $1,500 order shipping out all today, and hopefully we get paid out on that in the next day or two. Usually fair pays once there's movement on the tracking. So, if I ship out today, then I should have tracking movement tomorrow, and then I get paid out on Wednesday. So, yeah, I mean, the fair store has been incredible. I honestly cannot believe the kind of the turnaround I've had on it. I mean, and the nice thing too is like I've met some pretty awesome businesses that we've actually gone off fair and done business together. Like I just shipped a pallet of candy out to this place that I met on fair last week, and got paid from that. And then I have a couple other companies. One's actually pretty local, about 50 miles from me, that is looking to do some pretty good buying. And then I got a children's hospital that started ordering like bags of chips and stuff. Like it's just been incredible. So I did go ahead and I did sign a lease for the warehouse. I know I didn't do a vote on it, but I mean, when I had that week with 200 some orders, I'm like, there's no way. I need a warehouse. Otherwise, I'm just going to stop fair. And the warehouse is cheap, $600 a month. Even if like fair just completely fell off the rails, like if they shut us down for some reason, with the other Hudson Meat Company business, we're fine paying the $600 a month. Obviously, that's going to cut into profits a little bit, but I also think that we can probably turn 10 times the product with this warehouse as we did before, where it's basically just me and a truck. I'll show you the Hudson Meat Company up to date. Like I said, I just wanted to make this a quick update. I don't have like all of the numbers in place, but this will give you guys a good idea of what's going on. So you see last month we did $23,069 on fair, $1,400 on retail, which is like me delivering to people's houses. I don't really tend to do a whole lot of that just because it's time consuming. If I wanted to, I could be going 24/7 with that stuff, but to me it's just not worth it in most instances. Like I ran a butter sale a couple weeks ago, and I could have sold 1,000 cases of butter, but if I got to drive 20 miles to deliver a case of butter that we're making $5 on, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'd rather stick with the businesses where it takes me 20 minutes to drop off $3,000 worth of product and then be on my way. To me that makes the most sense, especially if I'm going to do this by myself or just me and a part-time guy. And then we did $33,800 on wholesale. One of our restaurant customers did drop off like really hard. Honestly, I don't know if they're going to make it through the winter. So that's, but I did pick up a supper club, and then I also picked up another grocery store as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities going into 2026. I really think that we're gonna blow 2025 numbers out of the water in 2026. Just with all the stuff I have kind of coming together at one point at this time. So I would like to start doing rewards payouts again. I think we're stable enough with everything that's going on. So I would like to start that up again. I'm thinking probably next week. But let's finish going through this first. So credits. So these are like when I get shipments from places and maybe there's a damage or something like that, I'll get a credit for it. And I figured this is the easiest way for me to do it. It's probably not the proper way, but if I can get, obviously like this number, I'm probably actually paying it out over here. So instead of going back and adjusting this, I just added it as a income. And realistically, it should wash out, like, for tax purposes, because I paid that $196.54 back here, and then I made $196.54. So really, those should wash out, and it should be a zero income. So, like I said, I don't think it's probably the proper way to do it, but it's the easiest way for me to do it. And I do have Amazon on here too. I've been doing a little bit of Amazon. Like, I have like 4 items on there, just stuff that's really easy for me to get, really easy to ship. I think this month I have probably $100 coming in for Amazon, so I don't really want to have Amazon be a big line item anymore. Unless I can go full time with this, then I would be totally fine doing fair Amazon, all the stuff I can get. If I'm doing this 40, 50 hours a week, I can move a lot of product. I mean, I'm moving a lot of product now, and I'm doing this part time. Still only like 10 hours a week. So last month we did $58,608. Cost of goods sold were $49,316, which is actually, let's see, I don't know if you guys can see my calculator, but I'm doing some math here. So that's a 15% margin, which for wholesale is actually pretty damn good. Obviously, there's a credit in there, so that's a little skewed. But even if our number is 15, or 14.5%, I mean, that's really good for wholesale. I mean, anything above 10%, I'd say is really good. So the margins are good. The next step is just controlling our expenses. Obviously these are kind of arbitrary. Did I spend $586 of fuel? Probably not. I probably spent $200. But I also have vehicle maintenance, $586. Did I spend $586 in vehicle maintenance? Well, I just had to put brakes on, but that's probably took me 6 months to wear out brakes. So, yeah, so I guess where I'm going with that is that our margins are probably a little better than they actually show, because these are probably arbitrary and not factual. But I'd say, like, over the course of a year, yeah, it's probably pretty close. Like, right now I got about $7,000 between vehicle maintenance and fuel. Did I spend that much in vehicle maintenance and fuel? Probably not. I probably spent $2,000 or $3,000. I think that's realistic, but I think it's good to kind of set this aside. And what if the truck goes out, and we got to replace it? At least then we have some money set aside to do that. Online fees are a big one. $5,339. Those are fair fees, and shipping is separate. Spent $1,091. So actually this $5,339 is the fair fees, and then shipping. Fair kind of bundles all of that into one, so it's hard for me to separate the fair fees and the fair shipping. So what this shipping is when I'm shipping pallets out to people, I probably shipped like 6 or 7 pallets, and it cost me $1,091. This month so far, obviously we're only 10 days in, and the first half of the month is usually pretty messy. We got a total income of $10,598, spent $17,146. So obviously we're way far behind this month, but we do have an accounts receivable of $14,337, which will all be coming in probably in the next week here. We have moved 6,137 cases this year so far. Average case cost is $53.96. and $319,000 in case total. And that is a little bit off. Obviously, you see, I'd say this is the real number, the 331,147, because what happens sometimes is, like, if I have to buy something just randomly off of like Sam's Club or something, or Amazon, just to fill an order, I'll put it into this cog, but I won't necessarily put it into this cog. These are like my main suppliers, and this is like everything, like even the one-off things. So this is the real number. This is kind of just seeing who we're spending the most money with and where we're turning the most cases with. Alright, so I wanted that to be a quick video. Thanks for watching. I will have a more in-depth video. I'll try to do that next Monday. With some more up-to-date numbers, and then month to date, and then I will do a reward next Monday. All right, thanks guys. Bye.